865,000 pound, 240 ton target payload with a 40 mile an hour top speed. Rear wet disc brakes, and they use the 45/90 tire on it. So we look at the match on here, and again, we would work with you and your customers to make sure that we have the proper dipper to match the body size of the truck. So let's look at the 7495. 5 different models: 7295, 7395, 7495, and 3 configurations. The base 7495, as you see here, 7495 HD, and the 7495 HF, which is high flotation for soft underfoot conditions, which will give you that big wide pad to allow you to float on that unstable and unsettled ground. Payload ranges from 50 to 120 ton and from 54 to 82 yard capacity buckets with target trucks of 150 to 400 ton. And the design pass match that we use with these is a 3 to 4 pass match. In some cases, you may struggle to hit that 3 pass match. It might be more cost effective to do a fast 4 pass match. A little easier on the shovel, a little easier on the trucks, and we may still be able to turn that truck in the same amount of time. That shovel also has MineStar Terrain and Detect. So I know using terrain that I'm staying on grade. I know where my ore pockets are, I know where my waste pockets are, and as I'm working through fleet, I'll actually know exactly where to send this material, whether it goes to an ore pile, the leach pile, or it goes to a waste dump. The MT5300 AC, that's a prototype truck which came from next door at our proving grounds. 2,750 horse, 1.1 million max GVW, 320 ton payload at 38 mile an hour top speed. Again, all CAT components supported by Caterpillar and the Caterpillar network. Typically, if we have a little bit of spillage, the goal for that wheel dozer is going to be to come in. Typically, that spillage is going to happen on the offside, and to fall off of those teeth, we have the 854 standing by. We know that tires are very hard to get today. They're extremely expensive. Most tires wear out at less than 70%. So that means there's an opportunity here to go from 3,000-4,000 hour tire life up to 8,000 or 9,000 hour tire life. A machine like that wheel dozer supporting this shovel can help us achieve that. Again, the MT5300, you'll have the opportunity today as both of those pull up to get with the product subject matter experts, get around that truck, climb on top of that truck and just see what it is. The 7495, this is probably the 10th truck it's loaded. A week ago today, that 7495 was set right in the middle of this floor in about 2 foot of mud. We got this whole thing built since last Friday. 45 truckloads to bring in that shovel and 3 rail cars. A lot of the pieces were too big to bring up through the Tanaha facility, so we brought them in through the mine. That machine weighs 3 million, just a little over 3 million pounds, and 667,000 pounds of that is ballast in that shovel. 67-foot boom length, 47-foot dipper length. You'll have the opportunity to get up in that today. It's a pretty impressive cab. Roomy, operator trainer seat, a technician seat where he can wire into that machine and see exactly what's going on. It has a refrigerator, a microwave. This one even has a restroom in it. So it's a pretty impressive machine to go up and have a look at. This one has HydroCrowd. The HydroCrowd is that hydraulic tube that you see on that dipper arm. Again, typically you would think of this machine as an all-electric machine. Electric track motors, electric hoist motors, electric swing motors. This one again has the HydroCrowd, which is brand new to this machine. You'll have the opportunity to get around the guys today and learn a little more about that. So when we look at a machine like this, obviously we need a lot of electric power. It typically comes off of a grid, and it's the same grid that supplies the power for you to turn the lights on in your house. Today we're supplying it with an off-grid power supply. So you see these two generators over here on the ground? That's what's supplying that shovel. Today there are two 3516 generators. Once this system is up, developed, and in production, it will be powered with one C17520 generator. And then everything that is in that tin will be onboard mounted. So the peak shaving system that is going to go in and make this system work in an off-grid application will be mounted on the shovel. That shovel can draw about 3.7 megawatts in about 1.2 seconds. But when he starts stopping his swing or he's lowering the boom, it's actually generating power. So we have to do something with that power. So that power goes back into the system where we have that power then to draw off. If you didn't have this peak shaver system, it would take 8 of those generators to be running this shovel. So when that power goes back, if it didn't have somewhere to go, it would just explode those generators. So again, this technology is fantastic. If you look at a new mining operation, a greenfield operation, that they just bought that shovel and it has to sit there for 8 months waiting for the power company to bring in power, this makes a lot of sense. And you look at going from 8 generators down to 1, your maintenance costs are greatly reduced, and that generator can be delivered through the Caterpillar system. Just loaded the 795. That is the original Cat 795 FAC, 3,400 horsepower, 1.257 million pound max GVW, and a 34 or 345 ton target payload.
Я думаю, по 300.
When we talk about target payload, this is a critical number, and just assume what it would do to your costs if every truck that left that shovel was 20 ton overloaded or 20 ton overloaded. We're either walking away from a lot of money, or we're carrying a lot more load on the truck's designed to do, and we're going to start seeing increased wear. One of the tools that we use today within Caterpillar with one of our allied suppliers is scales. So to make sure that our payload measurement system stays accurate, we can go to a mine site, or we can come to your operation with a set of scales, put them in the ground, and validate the TPMS system. We also have a scanner. So that scanner will take the empty volume of the body, it will then take the weight, and as you come under loaded, it will scan that body and slice that load in sections, and it will tell us exactly what that material weighs or what the density is. Once we know the density, we can make sure that we size that body and we size that bucket to give us an ideal pass match so that we're always going away with a rated payload. When you get down to the bottom of the hill today at the product fair, we have the Transcale display set up. So you'll be able to witness the scales, you'll see how the process works, you'll also be able to see the scanning system. The 797F over on the last truck that we're going to load under the 7495, again rated at 400 ton, 4,000 horsepower, 1.375 million pound max GVW. And it's critical that truck leaves with the target payload. It's a mechanical drive truck available in an XQ design. That means it's extra quiet. You work at some of the mines today that have noise issues, you can put an XQ system on that truck and you wouldn't be able to hear it running right now. So it